What's up guys? A couple weeks ago I did a review testing the Ego lawnmower over the entire course of a summer and came to the conclusion that it's a pretty great mower. I did have a couple questions come up. Probably the two most popular were, one, even though it's electric, it's still powered by coal, which again, this is a long-term thing. Everybody says this about Tesla too. It's a ridiculous claim. First of all, I have solar panels on the house, so that's not true. And even if it were true, I'll drop a link to a Forbes article in the description below, but even if it was powered by coal, it would still be cleaner than using a regular lawnmower anywhere in the United States. So again, debunked. Let's move on. The other thing people had a lot of questions about is how well does this do with leaves? I didn't have any leaves at the time. It was still kind of the beginning of fall, so my tree dropped all of its leaves maybe a week ago. We had our first snowstorm here in Colorado, a lot earlier than usual. Well, I figured, why not give it a shot? I've got quite a few leaves, especially over in this corner of the yard over here, as well as over here. So we should be able to give this a pretty good shot and see how well it does with mulching up leaves. I'm gonna try mulching first. We might do bagging if that doesn't work. The leaves are a little bit wet since it snowed maybe 3 days ago. So we'll do our best. The mower has the standard blade on it. Let's show you this here. Ego makes both a standard blade and a high lift blade. I'm using the standard blade. I think the high lift blade obviously would do a better job at this than this one will, but let's see how this does right out of the box, factory setup, and see if it does a decent job. All right, we mowed half of the yard, so you can kind of see a comparison between the side we did and the side we didn't do. Let's go ahead and take a look. I think it's pretty clear to see the drastic difference between the two sides. There's obviously heavy leaves on this half of the yard, and it was able to power through them really problem-free. I didn't have any problems with power or anything like that. There was no point in where it got bogged down or lost power that would cause any issues. Obviously back here where there's just a ridiculous number of leaves, if you look, this part of the grass is actually dead just from this tree causing so much shade, so it's really just kind of dirt back here. There's not much you can do with that. We'll see how it does on the rest of the yard, but so far, yeah, this is pretty impressive, especially for just mulching and not bagging. And also, I'll remind you that this is just the standard blade that comes with the Ego mower. This isn't the high lift blade. If anybody has a high lift blade, leave me a comment. Let me know if that does a better job at this type of thing. But from my perspective in my yard, I don't even think I would need the high lift blade. This seems to do just fine. All right, let's finish up and see what it looks like. All right, what's the verdict? Well, let's take a look around. I think overall it did a pretty good job, especially since, again, we were mulching and we were using the standard blade, not the high lift blade. Over here towards the garage, there's some areas where The leaves were super wet just because it's shaded by the garage, and these have been through a snowstorm already. So there's not too much you can do there. And then of course that area again, it's just super dense. We had no problem powering through it, and you can see it broke all that we went through into pretty fine pieces. So, you know, I think that's as good as we can expect there. I don't know, let me know what you think in the comments. I don't think my gas mower would have done a better job, but you know, there might be some out there that do. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks guys, see ya.